Hi, my name is Andrew Northcutt.
I'm Jacob Mullin.
And my name is Kenneth Vasquez Chicas. And today we'll be looking at the impacts of climate change, specifically the impacts on freshwater fisheries. So let's get started. All around the world, local freshwater fisheries bring livelihoods and food security to the most vulnerable groups of people. And the species of fish caught provide important nutrients like zinc and iron that aren't easy to find outside of marine life. However, current records from the IUCN Red List have shown that around one-third of freshwater fish are at risk of extinction, with population decreasing around the world either due to increased migration and or decrease in offspring yields.
One of the biggest causes for these decreases has been anthropogenic actions like damming, dredging, overfishing, deforestation, and much more that has led to not only increased greenhouse gases output, but also habitat loss and pollution that doesn't allow for adaptability from fish species and stresses vulnerable populations to the point of extinction. So let's go further into detail about these causes.
One of the main causes for reductions in freshwater fish populations has been anthropogenic, specifically pollution. Things such as chemicals, metals, fertilizers, and more enter fish systems and disrupt the physiological processes and destroy habitats, such as with heavy metals such as lead and chromium, which pose a carcinogenic risk to people who consume such fish, such as with lead levels ranging from 0.0016 milligrams per kilogram of fish to 44.3 milligrams per kilogram of fish, way over the threshold safe for consumption. Not only that, but fertilizer contamination also poses a risk, where algae blooms decrease dissolved oxygen for fish and lead to dead zones in freshwater, killing off species.
One of the leading causes for decreases in freshwater fish has been losses in habitats that have led to changes in migration and reproduction patterns. For example, wetlands have seen a decline all around the world, around 61 to 71%, due to conversions to agricultural purposes like rice paddies. Along with habitat loss comes fragmentation caused by projects like dams, dredging, irrigation, and more, which split rivers into change flows. Around a third of long rivers around the world are still free-flowing, but a multitude of projects threaten that. Due to these changes, many fish are unable to adapt as quickly as they could due to the nature and speed of many anthropogenic actions.
If a fish lacks the ability to migrate or distance itself from their habitat that is being negatively affected by climate change, their next option is to change genetically and adapt. Only fish with a genetic plasticity will be able to adapt in time to keep up with climate change. Around 22% of freshwater fish have genetic variation. This means that only 22% of the freshwater fish are going to have broad niches that will help them survive and adapt instead of needing to migrate.
With all these consequences stemming from anthropogenic sources, we've seen the obvious that freshwater fish populations have been decreasing and have been endangered. But how will these consequences affect those who depend on freshwater fish species? We'll be taking a closer look at that.
In the United States alone, freshwater fisheries generate around $38 billion worth of revenue annually. In order to keep this revenue stable and at a consistent rate, there are thousands of workers in the field that are being affected by the damage from climate change. In Canada, average water temperatures are rising, which has caused over 160 lakes to not be able to support fish stocking programs. Due to this, many popular fishing locations have been unable to support the fish and the demand, forcing people to travel further distances, which releases more greenhouse gases, or stopping people from being able to make a revenue off of fishing.
With reductions in freshwater fish populations leading to economic impacts for entire industries, we can see similar effects for families. For example, we expect to see a 50% decrease in fish-related jobs by 2050 as these populations plummet and freshwater fisheries are unable to adapt to climate change. Losses in income lead to a rise in people's inability to purchase food. And if freshwater fish go extinct completely, the whole industry is gone and the most vulnerable people have lost a source of income and a means to purchase food, leading to increased shares of undernutrition.
Fisheries all around the world are responsible for bringing vulnerable populations food security by providing nutrients that only marine-based food can provide. Several anthropogenic actions worsen climate change, which has led to a significant decrease in freshwater fisheries. These actions have led to habitat loss, extinction, economic hardship, and the loss in a stable source of food. If fisheries continue to disappear, an entire industry will be destroyed and a whole host of ecosystems will go extinct, negatively impacting nature and humans alike. Thank you.